Hail Internet, it's Matt here for the Dork Lords. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about all manner of dorkly things here, so whether it's sci-fi, fantasy, superheroes, we probably have a playlist about it. Feel free to check us out. Today is a brand new segment I'm calling Dork Tales. Woo! And what is Dork Tales, you ask? Well, a lot of commenters requested that I take my brand of storytelling that you might have seen in the Dork Lord of the Rings playlist and bring it into some more personal stories. And it's true, I have been witness to many dorkable events over the years. And so, Dork Tales will be some stories about yours truly. So, I was thinking through the various stories I could tell for Dork Tales, a woo-woo, and I think I've got it. The flagship story for Dork Tales, a woo-woo, will be the time that I performed in front of the largest live audience that I had ever performed for, before or since. The catch was that I had to do it as an absurd environmental superhero. So here we go. The inaugural Dork Tales, a woo-woo. Back in the 90s, I had a side gig as an environmental superhero named E-Lar. I was E-Lar from the planet Solcom. Neon green, spandex, green face paint, pink lips, big space boots, and I think they were solar panels. I had a headdress that was like solar panels. And essentially I'd go around and I do environmental education shows for kids and celebrate Earth Day and that kind of thing. Well, the highlight of Elar's short-lived career involved me being asked to do a halftime show for the Wichita Wings professional indoor soccer league team. The Wichita Wings at that time were playing in the Kansas Coliseum, holds 10,000, and they had definitely marketed this particular game, and so we probably had like 8,000 to 9,000 people in this crowd. And I was going to do an environmental halftime show for these soccer fans. And that's actually not this story. This story is not my halftime show. Maybe, Dork Tale episode 10 can be that. This actually happened before kickoff. The dorkable events transpired. So I drive to Wichita, never been to Wichita, and I get to the arena. They put me in the dressing room. I'm putting on my makeup. And I get told, hey, by the way, we're going to give you a special honor. Elar gets to kick out the first ball. So I'm like, awesome, that sounds great. I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. I played soccer all my life. From age 3, my dad was my soccer coach. I have either played or watched thousands of soccer games. I have never seen anyone kick out a first ball. No idea. So in my head, I'm thinking, it must be like throwing out the first pitch in baseball. So, that situation, you got somebody shows up before the game, they stand on the pitcher's mound, and they throw a strike to the catcher, yay! And then, the game starts. So in my head, I'm like, what is the equivalent in soccer? I'm thinking, well, maybe it's like a penalty kick. Maybe Elar gets to take a penalty kick against the Wichita Wings goalkeeper, Chris D'Amico, and that would be pretty cool. I'm actually kind of psyched about the idea. Like, even in my big space boots, I'm like, you know what? I might be able to score an old Chris D'Amico on a penalty kick. So anyway, by the way, that is not what this is. I'm completely wrong in this mindset, and it's gonna come back to haunt me. So I make my way to the tunnel pre-game. And the tunnel is just lined with kids. It's like every Boy Scout and Girl Scout in the state. I don't know. There's a lot of Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts all in uniform lining the wall of the tunnel. And interspersed are various mascots, right? I'm pretty sure there was a Chester Cheetah. I felt bad for him because he was all plush. I'm like, oh my God, he must be burning up in there. At least I had an exposed face. Didn't have the plush head. So anyway. Okay, all the people gathered around. You could see at the end of the tunnel, I'm like, starting to realize how big an event this is. right? There's like, you can see, oh my God, those stands go up a ways, and there's the lights are flashing, and they're doing, like, I was not ready for this, just say that. But okay, so I'm a little nervous. Elar, heart's pounding a little bit. I'm like, okay, all right, we can do this. Come on, here we go. Again, I'm just looking around, hoping someone will tell me what to do, because I don't know in this moment. So there's this guy, he's got a big headset on and a clipboard, and he looks perturbed, agitated, and I hear him on his little mic saying something like, "Where are the three amigos? Where are the three amigos?" Then he points at me, and he's like, you! So I like walk up, and he hands me the game ball. So I'm holding the game ball. And he's like, you and Miss Wichita, get out there. So I'm like, what? Okay. So Miss Wichita and I walk out onto the field, and we make our way. I'm just following like a line of, I'm following Chester Cheetah, essentially, and some Cub Scouts. And we walk up to essentially midfield on the sideline, and I'm standing there holding the ball. So a panic starts to set in on me. I'm standing here, thousands of people. I'm holding the game ball. And I'm like, as long as I'm holding this game ball, the game can't start. Like, I need to get rid of this ball as quickly as I can. And so I pick this moment. It seems like there's a lull in the action, and I just walk out to the midfield spot. Like, I stride out. Now, I'm looking confident. In my mind, I'm just a nervous wreck. But I'm like, if Elar looks nervous, the crowd will hate him. So I'm in this. So I might as well commit to being giant space broccoli. So here we go. And I stride out and I hold up the ball like it's a severed head, like, trophy. And I dramatically place it down on the center spot. And then I walk back to Miss Wichita and Chester Cheetah. And I'm like, okay, there we go. I'm done. Now the game could theoretically start, and it doesn't need me. What I didn't realize is the pregame was just getting started. Like, there was so much more for them to do. And every little event that they had choreographed took place at midfield. And so, like, for instance, the color guard shows up and they do the national anthem and they're all holding these flags. And they have to stand in a little semicircle around the ball because it's in their way. I'm like, just move it. Just kick the ball out of the, oh, God. I'm like, I can see that the people upstairs must have been thinking when I walked out with the ball, like, what's he doing? But I didn't know what I was doing. Anyway, okay, so ball's out there. I'm like, please just get through this. Please get through this. But it gets worse in that the big finale, lights go out, and the announcer comes on, and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, introducing your Wichita Wings. And what they start doing is the Wichita Wings players come in on the backs of Harleys. So these motorcycles are coming out to midfield in the dark carrying the players. And every time a motorcycle comes out and they see the ball at the last second in the dark, they have to do this, like, you have to pivot around the ball. And every time I'm like, I just want to sink farther away. Luckily, there's no accidents. But now the whole team is gathered there at midfield. And they all wave and everybody's excited. And the lights blink and the Cub Scouts start to walk off. Chester Cheetah starts to leave. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can just fade away with the crowd now and just be done with this whole first ball thing. So I start to, again, pretending to be confident. I stride off the field with my pink cape, waving at everyone. And the announcer comes on. He's like, now Elar will kick out the first ball. I'm like, damn it. And the guy with the headphones, I see him at the end of the field. And he's like, turn around, you. So I'm like, okay. And I turn around and I stride back to the midfield spot. 8,000 people are like anticipating the game. And they're standing about 6-7 yards away from the ball is Chris D'Amico, the Wichita Wings goalkeeper. And I'm like, aha, this is the moment. This is the thing that I was supposed to do. I'm supposed to take it. He's not standing in front of the goal. It's a little weird, but sure. I'm supposed to take a shot at Chris D'Amico. Now, as I sit here talking to you via the camera, I realize I was just supposed to like tap the ball to him, maybe flip it, and he was supposed to like go, ha ha ha, clap, 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 clap. But in that moment, my heart racing, I'm totally out of my element. I'm like, I got to shoot this ball. And so I just wind up, and I'm sure Chris D'Amico's like expecting this little, oh, he'll just tap it to me. But no, bang, in my space boots. I just careen a shot right off of his shins. Ping, the ball bounces off onto the field. The announcer comes on, little hard there, Elar. And I immediately realize I've done something stupid. The crowd kind of gasps a little bit, like, what was that? Was he supposed to do that? And so again, now I'm like, let's just get out of here. So I turn around again, and I'm heading for the exit, for the tunnel, waving, please let me out of here. And I feel something hit me in the back of the head. I'm like, what? And I look back, and Chris D'Amico had picked up the ball and winged it at me, so to speak. Now, was he angry at me? Was he just joking? I don't know. Never talked to Chris D'Amico. Mr. D'Amico, I hope I never offended you because I didn't mean to. But anyway, he wings the ball off the back of my head. I decide in the moment I'll just play it for laughs. And so I pretend like I get poleaxed. I'm like, ball! And I collapse onto the field in my cape. And the audience laughs. Like, I think in their mind, they're like, oh, see, Chris D'Amico and Elar worked out a thing. And that's pretty funny. And so the ball rolls off. I get up, dust myself off, wave again to the audience, and gratefully slink away from the field, knowing I'm going to have to come back at halftime for a halftime show. But that'll be a dork tale for later. Such is the end of the very first inaugural Dork Tale. A woo-woo.